Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. Welcome back to another of these quick little Star Wars Black Series figure reviews. Gonna hop right into it. Today we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Black Series Darkside Rey. And this figure, it impressed me in some ways. Now, right off the bat, because of the whole skirt thing here, we are dealing with some relatively hindered articulation. Not from any sculpting or anything in the legs, but clearly just, you know, this big piece of rubber going on. Part of me wonders why they didn't use the same fabric they used back here for the cape. Since, you know, if they used something that flowed, we could still have full leg articulation. But, you know, that aside, face sculpt is pretty freaking bang on. Like, that is very obviously Daisy Ridley. So I've got to give them some props there. While it's almost impossible to see, if you manipulate the cowl or hood, whatever it is, a little bit, you can see that they did sculpt at least part of the hair as well. So they did, you know, more details than they necessarily needed to, which is always appreciated. Other than the legs being held back a little bit by the cape, articulation is really good. Her arms actually have a bit of a butterfly joint, so they can go back and forth at the shoulder, as well as move out all the way. Rotation is... no, I guess you can't get a full rotation. It's just you'll have to move out a little bit to get around this. This is the same kind of stiff rubber that you have for the rest of the robe. I don't want to call it a skirt. It's very clearly a robe kind of thing, but whatever. Really good range on the elbows, actually, for just a single joint. That's pretty impressive. Rotation, because of the way they handled all the detailing here, it does a really good job of not breaking the mold either. I'm aware my camera is not quite sure how to handle all of the black going on. I apologize, but I am limited in what I have access to right now. They even managed to get like this tiny little ring, not only sculpted, but properly painted on her hand. If I can force the focus here. There we go. So, we've got that usual, you know, wrist articulation for these figures. A little bit of waist articulation, ball joint right there. And like I said, the legs are, you know, fully articulated for a Black Series figure. It's just that without using a stand or something, you're not going to be able to do a lot with it because of the unbending nature of, you know, the robe. So the robe's a little bit of a downside, but this figure more than makes up for it with the accessories she came with. She's got the weird double-bladed bendy lightsaber, and it's even bendy. I love that. I love that so stinking much. Really nice detail on the lightsaber itself. As well as if you want, for whatever reason, you can very easily pull the halves apart. Like, even if nothing else, that probably might be good for storage or something. Try to save that little tiny pin that's in there. So that's great. I don't know if it's necessarily intentional or not, but you can just grab a hold of the blade and pop it out. So you can, you know, deactivate the lightsaber. When you go to put the blade back in, keep in mind that it's got a little cutout on one side, so you have to line that up to get it back in. But overall, it's not a figure I can say a whole lot about, just because it is, you know, it's a human action figure, articulation's kind of standard, and even this one's a little bit hindered because of this. But this is still it's a really good sculpt. It's really well done. I will say, my only nitpick on this figure, it's not even anything important or anything, just personal preference, I would have liked this to be fabric instead of rubber, so that there was a little bit better, use of the leg articulation. As well as, I do think it would have been really cool if somehow we got an alternate face or alternate head with the sharp teeth thing that we had in the movie. I'm sorry, I liked that. I like the whole dark side twists your physical form kind of thing. So I would have been a fan of maybe a smiling head or something like that, at least as an option. And also it would have been kind of nice if the cowl would have been fabric as well, so you could fold it down. Or not cowl, hood. But at the same time, I know that the hood's supposed to keep this very specific shape, and I doubt fabric could do that correctly, so I'll let that one slide. Either way, this is actually still a really cool figure based on like a 10-second scene in the movie. So, yeah, it's worth snagging if you see it. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.